Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Alicia, and in today's video, we're doing a July book haul. And I'll share some of the books that I picked up this month. So let's get started. The first book I picked up for the month of July is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I've never read anything by Colleen Hoover, but every booktuber I watch in some way, shape, or form has either been introduced to Colleen Hoover, has read Colleen Hoover, has loved Colleen Hoover, or is so excited for the next book to come out. So I decided to pick up this one to start with. I'm just going to go ahead and read the synopsis. It says that Lowen Ashley is a struggling writer on the brink of financial ruin when she accepts the job offer of a lifetime. Jeremy Crawford, husband of best-selling author Verity Crawford, has hired Lowen to complete the remaining books in a successful series his injured wife is unable to finish. Lowen arrives at the Crawford home, ready to sort through years of Verity's notes and outlines, hoping to find enough material to get her started. What Lowen doesn't expect to uncover in the chaotic office is an unfinished autobiography Verity never intended for anyone to read. Page after page of bone-chilling admissions, including Verity's recollection of the night their family was forever altered. Lowen decides to keep the manuscript hidden from Jeremy, knowing its contents would devastate the already grieving father. But as Lowen's feelings for Jeremy begin to intensify, she recognizes all the ways she could benefit if he were to read his wife's words. After all, no matter how devoted Jeremy is to his injured wife, a truth this horrifying would make it impossible for him to continue to love her. A standalone romantic thriller from the #1 Times Best author Colleen Hoover. So this one sounds intriguing and a little mysterious and that kind of moment. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one in the near future. The second book I picked up this month is the third book in the Heartstopper trilogy. This one is about boy-on-boy romance, and it's a really good graphic novel from what I've heard from other booktubers. There's not really too much color, but I am all for it because it's simple, I can read it very easily, and I look forward to reading, or actually I should say binge reading, volumes 1, 2, and 3 before the fourth one comes out, I believe in September, if I remember that correctly. But I've heard lots of good things about this one, so I am ready to binge the first 3 books. The third book I picked up, and this was actually a book recommendation from one of the ladies at my local bookstore. She knows me by name, and so she knows what kind of books I read, and she recommended All Systems Red by Martha Wells. This is the first book in the Murderbot Diaries. I'm going to go ahead and read what's on the back, but it sounds really interesting, and she thought I would like it. So, the back of the book says, in a corporate-dominated space-faring future, planetary missions must be approved and supplied by the company. Exploratory teams are accompanied by company-supplied security androids for their own safety. Try saying that fast. But in a society where contracts are awarded to the lowest bidder, safety isn't a primary concern. On a distant planet, a team of scientists are conducting surface tests, shadowed by their company-supplied droid, a self-aware sec unit that has hacked its own governor module and refers to itself, though never out loud, as Murderbot. Scornful of humans, all it really wants is to be left alone long enough to figure out who it is. But when a murdering mission goes dark, it's up to the scientists and their Murderbot to get to the truth. She said this one is really interesting. It's really short. I think it's like 150 pages, but she said the first couple of books are like novella size, and then there's an actual like book size coming out, I believe she said later this year or next year. So I'm interested to see what this is all about and continue reading the series. This next book on the list, when I found it, I came across it looking on the Barnes & Noble website. But as soon as I found it, I said yes please, and I have to have it. And that is Neon Gods by Katee Robert. This one is a retelling of Hades and Persephone. I will read the back of the cover, but this one to me sounds really appealing, and I love Greek mythology retellings, and this one is by far the most interesting one I've come across. But the back says, "He was supposed to be a myth, but from the moment I crossed the river Styx and fell under his dark spell, he was, quite simply, mine." Society darling Persephone Demetri plans to escape the ultra-modern city of Olympus and start over far from the backstabbing politics of the 13 houses. But all that's ripped away when her mother ambushes her with an engagement to Zeus, the dangerous power behind their glittering city's dark facade. With no options left, Persephone flees to the forbidden Undercity and makes a devil's bargain with a man she once believed a myth. A man who awakens her to a world she never knew existed. Hades has spent his life in shadows, and he has no intention of stepping into the light. But when he finds that Persephone can offer a little slice of the revenge he spent years craving, it's all the excuse he needs to help her, for a price. Yet every breathless night spent tangled together has given Hades a taste for Persephone, and he'll go to war with Olympus itself to keep her close. A modern retelling of Hades and Persephone that's as simple as it is sweet. I really look forward to this one. I do love the cover with the purples and the blues, so yeah, this is Neon Gods, and I look forward to reading it. The next book on this list is also by Katee Robert, and that is Desperate Measures. I've been hearing some good things about this one. It is part of the Wicked Villains series. This one is based on Aladdin, but it is not the usual story of Aladdin. And we'll go ahead and read what's on the back. It says, "My savior or my ruin. One night and my entire life went up in flames, all because of him, Jafar. As my world burned down around me, he offered me a choice. Walk away with nothing but my freedom, or rise to his challenge and win my fortune back. I bargained. I lost. Now Jafar owns me, and even as my mind rails against his rules, my body loves the punishments he deals out when I break them. But a gilded cage is still a prison. I'll do anything to obtain my freedom, even betray the man I'm falling for." So, from what I've heard on BookTube, this is a Jasmine and Jafar telling of the story. And from what I've heard also, it may have some smut scenes in there, so this will be interesting. Not a very big read, so it shouldn't take long, but I hope to get to this one at some point as well. The next book on my list is The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but I had to pick this one up because I have book 2, The Proposal, and I didn't have this one. I thought The Proposal was the first book, and it's not. It's this one. So we got a copy of this so that I could read it before The Proposal. I'll go ahead and read the back, but from what I've been hearing on BookTube, it's kind of like two people get together, go to a wedding, and then things go from there. But the back says, "I vow to take thee as my date, to pretend to have and to hold, from rehearsal dinner to reception end, until Sunday do us part." Agreeing to go to a wedding with a guy she gets stuck with in an elevator is something Alexa Monroe wouldn't normally do. She's definitely not the spontaneous type, but there's something about Drew Nichols that's too hard to resist. Drew has never found it hard to meet women or to know just when to leave them, but now on the eve of his ex's wedding festivities, he's minus a +1 until a power outage strands him with the perfect candidate for a fake girlfriend. From the best man's toast to the banquet toss, bouquet toss, Alexa and Drew have more fun than they ever thought possible, but before they know it, Drew has to fly back to Los Angeles and his job as a pediatric surgeon, and Alexa heads home to Berkeley, where she's the mayor's chief of staff, and neither of them can stop thinking about the other. There's just two high-powered professionals on a collision course towards the long-distance dating disaster of the century, or closing the gap between what they think they need and what they truly want. Sounds interesting, so I look forward to reading this one. And the last and final book of the book haul for July is called Simplicity, Parroting by Kim John Payne with Lisa M. Ross. This is using the extraordinary power of less to raise calmer, happier, and more secure kids. I will leave her channel down below, but I came across this book when I was watching Dawn from The Minimal Mom, and she was talking about simplifying things not only in your house but also in the way that you do things, and one of the things that she was talking about was raising children. She has 4 of her own. I myself only have 2, but it sounded interesting from the way that she was describing. Again, I will link that video and her channel down below, but it basically helps you find simpler ways in such a technology-driven society to connect with your children and raise them so that they are calmer, happier, and more secure. So I look forward to reading this one, and hopefully it can also give me a few pointers, as like I said, I'm raising 2, and right now they're currently 2 under the age of 4. So you can probably see I have my hands full. But hopefully this will give me some hints and tricks, and it'll make it a lot simpler. Well, that is all for me, guys. If you would like me to read any particular book so that I can talk about it, leave that down in the comments below. But that's all for me with this video. If you liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!